you going, man?
Good, Pato. Thanks for having us on the show.
No worries. Thanks for coming on. You've had a big backyard year.
Mate, it's been massive. Yeah, and still 24 days to go.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have any more backyards planned, though, do you?
No, still just got 24 more yards to do
Mm.
to finish off the Horsens virtual backyard with Clayton.
Yeah, I remember he was on the podcast earlier this year and he was telling me about it. That feels ages ago. So you've been doing 1 yard a day, every day, all year. Is that how it works?
Yep. Yeah, it's had its challenges, but I think the benefits have been massive this year in doing that.
Yeah, awesome. Now, do you remember when you first fell in love with the jog?
With the jog, like just
Just
and
running.
well, I even growing up as a teenager and stuff, I got into running when I was about 15. I remember my mum used to do this event called the Sutherland to Surf. It's an 11K run, and I remember I was playing AFL at the time, and I think she got sick of me playing computer games and stuff. So she said, "How about you do this run this year? Come do this run with me." I was like, "You know what? I'll give it a crack." So we signed up to do it. And it just so happened that I actually broke my collarbone playing AFL
Ooh,
3 weeks before it. And I think I had my arm in a sling up until a couple of days before the race. And then it was out of the sling. I was like, you know what? I'll give it a crack. Let's have a go. And a lot of rookie mistakes were made that day. I remember getting up in the morning, having the hottest shower, and I was like sweating like a pig. And I had the most non-running outfit on, like long sleeve cotton shirt and yeah, board shorts, everything. And I gave it a crack, and I thought, how good's this? This is I don't mind this running thing, and like I didn't do very well at all, but I knew I wanted to be back the following year to give it another crack. And I was like, I can do better at this, and I think that's when I started, loving running and
yeah.
uh, a couple more years of AFL and gave that the flick. And then all of a sudden it was just running from then on.
Yeah, awesome. So how long is Sutherland to surf?
It's only 11 Ks, but I thought it was massive at the time.
Oh, sure, it is. It is. I remember when I first did my first 10Ks, I thought I was so happy with myself.
Yeah. Well, it used to be like I don't know if I know Perth has a city to surf, but Sydney has a city to surf as well. And the Sutherland to surf is like a build up to it. It's like 3 weeks before the Sydney to Bondi city to surf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a nice little warm up for that.
So you mentioned playing AFL. Were you actually in the AFL or were you playing Aussie rules?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Aussie rules.
So how often are you running at the moment? Like, I mean, you're obviously running every day.
Yeah, it's been full on this year. Running every day. I believe my running streak at the moment is longer than Phil Gore's, thanks to him having a couple of weeks off after he won the World Championships. Um, so I think I'm on day 341 this year
Yeah.
um, of doing a yard a day. And I think that stems back to November 1st. I think I started. So my run streak goes just over 400 days at the moment.
Yeah, well done. Is that your longest streak ever?
Oh yeah, yeah, by a long way.
Yeah.
Like when I say I'm doing a yard a day, it's very much the same rules as a backyard. Um, Obviously there's walking involved, but I always make sure that I run at least 2Ks. So I guess my run streak is, minimum 2Ks.
Yeah. That would be a good way to experiment with how you run a yard as well, like how much walking you can do in that time and how quickly you can or how slow you can actually run a yard in.
Yeah, well, it all came about when Clayton mentioned the Horsens virtual backyard ultra he did on your podcast um, like 12 months ago or something. And he'd mentioned it to me. And I was like, yeah, I think that'd be worth a crack. And um, there's a whole bunch of us that have done it. Even Laz signed up for it. So you could do the running one where you get an hour or the walking one where you get 2 hours. And we've got this Facebook page. And the best thing is we've all been able to share our experience and as you say, experiment with different yards. So I've been doing a lot of like 2 minute run, 2 minute walk to come in around 51 minutes. Some days it's like a 6 minute run, 2 minute walk to come in around 45 minutes. So I think doing that every day has definitely put me in a good position for my races this year. And it's been
Yeah,
really, a really good learning curve.
yeah. And what's the hardest day you've had to do your challenge?
Um, I'd say it was the day after Reds
Oh yeah,
because Reds was my A race this year.
yeah,
Um, and I wanted to give it everything I had. And I promised myself on the day, I was like, don't worry about your yard tomorrow. Um, just give it everything and go until you can't go any further. And even when I finished Reds, I was like, yeah, I'm probably done with the yard a day this year. I don't think I've got it in me.
yeah,
And sure enough, I think I went out about 9 or 10 o'clock the next night, and it legit took me 59 minutes and I think 56 seconds or something. I wasn't game enough to get it any closer to 60 minutes, just in case I couldn't finish that last couple of meters.
yeah,
But it was tough. Um, but there's been some other fun ones this year. I went to America twice this year, so that was awesome. There was one time we went to Universal Studios with the family, and we were having such a great time. And we actually got these tickets where you got to stay until like 2 a.m. and they took you, down to the Back to the Future lot, and they had the cast reenacting all these scenes and stuff, and it was absolutely awesome because it's my favorite movie.
yeah,
But it got to about 11 o'clock at night, and we were on this Harry Potter ride, and I was like, I haven't done my yard today. So I better get that done. And luckily, I had my running gear in my backpack all day just in case, because we were meant to get home like that evening. And I was like, ooh, let's see if I can get a yard done inside Universal Studios. I thought that'd be a bit of fun.
yeah,
Anyway, about half an hour in, I didn't really want to run because, it was a bit weird at Universal Studios. Um, so I kind of walked as quickly as I could, but I don't know if you've been there in Hollywood. It's on two different levels, and so there's a fair bit of elevation in it and stuff. And I got to 30 minutes, and I hadn't even got to 3Ks. I was like, nah, I'm not getting this done. So I went out to the car park and just ran loops around the car park, got it
right.
done, back in, went on some more rides.
Yeah, awesome. Now I know you love your park runs too.
I
Yeah, how many park runs have you done?
notched up my 383rd yesterday.
Oh, well done.
Done 63 different courses and 5 countries.
Yeah, awesome. And
Awesome.
what's the fastest park run you've done?
Um, that was, I think it was about August this year. I did 2026.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah,
Did-
so I'm still trying to find that sub 20. And Jonathan Ash has promised to try and pace me to under 20 once I start running a decent time.
Okay. Uh, so how did the transition into running ultras happen?
Yeah, well, parkrun was really good for me. I've been doing it for about 11 years. That all came about when I took 3 months off work to be a stay-at-home dad when my son was born. And so, dropping my daughter off to school and taking him to play groups and stuff was a really good time. But I wasn't running much, and I'd had a few injuries, so like I wasn't really motivated to run. So I found that it was actually a pretty difficult time running wise, but it was great to spend time with the kids and everything. And I came across a guy I used to run with in Sydney, and he said, "Oh, have you heard of this park run? It's a 5K free event every Saturday." I was like, "Oh, um, that's something I might be interested in," because before that, I used to have to like travel up to Sydney every Saturday to race with my running club. I was like, "Oh, this makes a lot more sense." And then I started getting into that, and it just changed my outlook on running and like the community. Like that was the first time I really kind of um, felt like I had a reason to turn up to run every Saturday, and week by week, I put more training into it and stuff, and felt better about my running. So parkrun was really awesome for me. It wasn't until then COVID hit, 6 years later or whatever, that parkrun then got shut down, and most people were then running on their own, and when the restrictions kind of lifted and stuff, even though all races were put on hold, running groups were starting to come together and running in pairs and stuff like that. So one of the local running groups here put on a run called Bush to Beach. It was just a trail run, and I hadn't done much trail running before that. And so off we went, at 15, 20-second intervals. And we kind of had like an estimated time to finish. So, you know, we were spread out and everything. And I'm just running along and enjoying company of those around me. And this lady runs past, and I'd heard of her before in this running group, but I'd never gotten to didn't get to meet her before. And sure enough, it was Red.
Right.
We just got chatting, and we ended up running a fair bit of the run together. And from there, that kind of got me into trail running and the longer distances and stuff. So funnily enough, I actually looked back on our first run together. So the first time Red and I actually ran together was the first Saturday in August, 5 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
And funnily enough, Red's Backyard Ultra is hosted on the first Saturday of every August.
Yeah. And that was your first backyard ultra, wasn't it? Reds.
Yeah, it was in 2023. Yeah.
Yeah. So how much about the format did you know before you ran that first time at Reds?
I had no idea. So I just started running trails, and I remember Red. I can't remember if she messaged me or phoned me, and she said, "Simon, I'm going to host this race. It's called a Backyard Ultra." I was like, "What's that?" So she went on to explain it, and everyone watching knows what it is. And I was like, "That sounds like the most insane thing ever." But I'm very curious about it. I'm interested. Anyway, it was leading into the Ultra Trail Australia 50K trail race, and I hadn't done 50Ks before. So I said to her, "Look, this sounds really good. Like, I'm interested, but I want to get through this 50K race first and see how I hold up." I hadn't ran anything more than a marathon at that stage. And she says, "Yeah, okay, but I really want you to do it. I think it'll be good for you." And I was like, "Yeah, but." Like, because she said it's only open to 55 people, and like I hadn't heard of races like that before.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but I'd be taking a ticket away from someone who's probably going to run, 24, 36 hours or something. And she goes, no, 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 it's for all abilities. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I'm all abilities at
Yeah.
the lower end of the scale, but I fit into that category. So I was like, all right, let me get through this race first. So I do the 50K out at Katoomba, and she legit calls me half an hour after I finished. Not, how'd you go or anything like that. It's like, are you going to sign up? Are you going to do it? I was like, Red, I'm exhausted. I've just rolled my ankle 20 Ks into that run. Let me see how I go. And sure enough, the next day, I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's sign up. This sounds really interesting. I'm keen.
Yeah.
So I get on the computer. I'm signing up. It says one spot left. I was like, all right, I'll take the last ticket.
Yeah.
And I'm signing in, and I go to pay, and I can't pay. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? The computer's frozen. So I refresh the computer, and then I go to sign in again. It goes, event sold out. I was like, oh, yeah, all that procrastinating, I've wasted my opportunity. So I've called Red. I said, look, here's the situation, Red. I've tried to sign up, but it's sold out. She goes, no, no, no. Your name's in the 55th position. You just need to like log in or something. I can't even remember how it went, but half an hour later, the payment's made and I'm signed up.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'm like, well, I better learn a little bit about this backyard ultra thing. So it was, I think, 2 weeks later, I invested myself into following my first backyard ultra. And I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Looks like it's in the country somewhere. Is it, maybe a couple of dozen people running it. I wonder how these guys will go. Maybe we'll go for a day or two. Anyway, they're posting signs about how the Australian record, I think, was at 57 yards at the time and stuff. I was like, oh, that'd be exciting. Imagine if we see an Australian record. This would be pretty cool to follow. Little did I know, 4 days later, Phil Gore's running 102 yards, and my first experience with Backyard Ultra is following Dead Cow Gully 2023, which I'm sure many people on here watched that or followed along.
Yeah.
Um, what an introduction to
Oh,
back. And it's
um,
like, at that moment, it's like, I'm hooked. Here we
yeah. 'Cause I know you've watched that video a few times because you can nail that acting the beginning like with Sam Harvey on the couch. Like it's perfect.
Yeah, oh, well, up at Dead Cow Gully this year, I saw the couch and instantly it was like, I'll be back. I'll give it a couple of days, but I'll be back here to reenact that. And I
Yeah.
sent it to Sam's mum. She loved it. I was really nervous because I'm sure I'm not the only one, but that scene inspired me for years.
Mm, yeah.
Um, really drove me and stuff. So to actually be there in that room with everyone, yeah, it was pretty special actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got a bit of feedback about the video. Yeah, sounded like people really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. So at Reds, the first backyard ultra you did there were quite a few legends running in that one, like Jashy, Clayton, Barry Keem. Like, did you know any of, I mean, those legends before the race started?
No, there was a guy named Matt Wall-Smith. He's done all 3 years at Reds. I knew him. I knew Red. And I knew of a few of the committee members. I don't think I knew any of them. I don't think I went to any of the recce runs or anything like that. Pretty much I rocked up on the day just hoping I wasn't going to be the first one out. Because it was funny because yeah, I've heard Ryan um, Crawford mentioned before, early days of Backyard Ultra, even though it was only 2 years ago, it was very different. There was three of us in the one gazebo, just with an esky and some food. So it was nothing like the setup I have these days. But I remember going there on a Friday, dropping everything off. But one of the guys that I was in the gazebo with, he actually didn't rock up until 7:45 with the gazebo. So we're putting that up at the last minute and getting ready to go out there and race and stuff. But no, you mentioned those names, and Peter Richardson was there as well. He was the assist that year. Absolutely amazing. I remember when it got to probably 11 or 12 yards, I was coming in and I was so cold. I was actually like shivering and stuff. So what I would do is I would actually power out those, first 5 or 6 minutes. I'd just run the first 5 or 6 minutes, which wasn't my strategy, but it was just to warm me up. And then I'd walk a bit. And it was the best thing I did because as soon as I started walking, there goes Jashy past me. There goes Barry. There goes Peter. Um, you know, and you start to realize like every single lap you're running with these guys, you're in the same race with them, and it's not like a marathon where the finisher is done by the time you get to the halfway point. It's like, yeah, they're running every yard with these guys, and that's a strategy I've actually taken into a lot of my backyards now. Is just, especially at night time, I like to just get out there nice and quick, and then the other guys pass me, and it just reminds you of um, the people that you got around you, and yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah. So I mean, you're well entrenched in the backyard ultra scene now. Like you've made heaps of friends doing these races. So was it that race where like you met Clayton and all that? Like that's where you started. Like that's when the friendship started.
Yeah, man. Like, I think Clayton and I bonded pretty quickly because we were set up pretty close together as well. And I just remember, like, I've always been a bit of a motivator when I'm out running, like with park run and stuff. You'll often hear me yelling out to people, "Oh, keep on going, get up that hill. You're halfway," that kind of stuff. And I'm always, um, I like seeing people do their best, and I like to get the best out of people. And I remember when I met Clay, and this is before I knew of the Clayton lap.
Right.
Uh, So I'd be out there, and Reds is a bit of an out and back kind of loopy thing. So when I'd come back, I'd see Clayton at the back of the pack, and I'd be like, "Keep going, mate. You're doing well." Yeah, every time I was like, "Oh man, I hope this guy keeps on going." Little did I know that he was still going to be out there, 6 or 7 hours after I'd finished, and that's when I first met Clay and found out about the Clayton lap.
Mm. So that's awesome. And I mean, you mentioned before that you were hoping just not to be the first one to drop, but you did 15. So that's 100 Ks, like more. That's double your previous distance PB. So you must have been happy.
Oh man, I was blown away. Yeah, my first goal, as I said, was not to be first one out. And not that there's any thing wrong with that. I just didn't want to let Red down because she really wanted me to do this race, and all I wanted to do was make her proud, And the more I've gotten to know Red, like you don't, you know, all she wants you to do is turn up, and be the best that you can. She's such a wonderful person, Um, then my next goal was 10. And when I got to 10, I was like, oh, I'm so excited. Like, I've done this, and I'll just keep on going. And I remember getting to the 15th yard of when we started it, I was like, oh, I think I'm almost done, but I'd love to run Sunday. Like, start that 17th lap and still be running Sunday would be a big step as well. You just got to look for those little goals.
Mm.
Anyway, yard 15, we're at the start line. And I look around and there's two people with rain jackets on. I was like, oh yeah, it's getting a bit cold. Maybe they're just wearing that to stay warm. All right. Red rings the bell. Off we go. We get about 500 meters in and the heavens open. Rain smashes down and it was pretty unpleasant. Nothing compared to, Sat Champs and the World Individual
Mm.
Championships this year,
Oh,
like that conditions. But to me, yeah, it felt pretty bad. I think I came in around 58 and a half minutes, saturated, cold. Came in after Clayton. I was like, "Oh, I'm behind Clayton. I need to pick up my game, pick up my speed a bit."
yeah.
And anyway, I get in, and my mate Michael there, he's like, "Macca, come on, we'll get you a fresh shirt on, we'll get you dry and everything." And I just look at him and go, "Mick, I'm done, man."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it broke me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
I was
was that Michael Bilbo?
No, so he was
Oh,
running. He did 30 yards that year.
yeah.
Um, no, there's another guy from another run club, a Thursday night run club that we do down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um,
So I know you absolutely froth backyard ultras, but was that experience at Reds? Did that get you good?
that was everything and more. Uh,
Yeah.
like you know how it is, Pat. You do your first one, and it's a different type of race.
Mm.
Um, the the community, like the runners, like everyone's out there supporting each other. They want everyone to do it. It's not really even a competition. It's a hey, let's get together, let's see how far everyone can run kind of thing. And I was like, I think I've found my race. This is it.
Yeah.
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 And
Unreal.
of course, every time you do a backyard ultra, you're like, I reckon I can do better. I reckon I can go one more.
Yeah.
So it hooks you.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you finished your first race at Reds, like, did you start thinking about how far you thought you might be able to go in the future?
Yeah. Look, I think I gave it everything that day. I remember going over to the tent where you know, you DNF. And, we've seen it all before that you can push your body so far, but then once you mentally switch off, your body kind of catches up. And I just remember standing there and my legs were giving way. And I was like, yeah, I think my body had had enough.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, there was a bit of disappointment. I was like, I really would have liked to have been running on Sunday, like just that little extra milestone to say that you ran past midnight or whatever. And then obviously ever since then, I've wanted to see the sunrise and get to that 24 hours. So there's always that little bit of drive to get you back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was thinking pretty much probably 2 days later, I was already planning to do Reds again next year. I hadn't even thought about doing another backyard ultra. I was just focused on, okay, I've got 12 months to do Reds again. And that's what I did. That was my next backyard ultra was Reds 12 months later.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. And that was what I was going to ask. Like, I mean, you've loved the format after your first one, so but I guess there weren't that many backyard ultras in New South Wales then either. Like, probably weren't as many options for you.
No, and like to be honest, back then I only knew Dead Cow Gully and Reds. That was it. I knew there were others, but I was unaware of them.
Yeah,
And I just, yeah, I wasn't quite sure on what I wanted to do next, but I knew I wanted to do Reds.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, so I think I went home and my post backyard ultra meal is always a Macca's breakfast, like a bit of a feast. So I went and had that, had a bit of a sleep, and I was back there the next day, ready to watch the other guys come in.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So I
How,
think
how how close do you live to that course?
about 20 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I think I came back just in time to see Jashy finish up. And then, yeah, as you said, Michael Bilbo and Shane Koziwada, they did 30. And then I was watching it. Peter and Barry looked like they could have gone a lot longer. And I was like, oh, I better spend some time with the family this weekend. So I think I stayed there for uh, half a day or something. And then I was like, oh, I better go home. And I think um, Peter and Barry wrapped up things an hour or two after I left. I was like, oh, I should have stayed.
Yeah,
But you know,
yeah, that's it. Um, so the records say you did 22 yards 12 months later at your second one. That's a big improvement. That's like a marathon improvement. So what did you do to improve so much?
I actually did some training.
Yeah, yeah,
The first year, like I was training pretty well, but I wasn't doing big Ks. Um, yeah, I remember I was instructing out at the fire academy. So each morning before um, meeting up with the recruits, I would actually just do laps around the academy out there. It was like 600-meter laps or something. I was like, okay, I can't get the big distance, but what I can do is bore myself to death with multiple laps, and that way I get used to running the same lap all the time. So, yeah, I guess it worked to a certain extent, but it was the following year for 2024, I started upping my Ks. I think I got over 100 Ks in a week for the first time ever. And I remember reaching out to Jashy and said, hey, Jashy, you know, I've done over 100 Ks this week and last week. What do you think I should do? Reds is only 3 weeks away. When should I start tapering off? And Jashy's like, yeah, man, it's all good. Like, yeah, if you feel good, just keep running. Yeah. So I think I went down to like 80 Ks the week before and then dropped right down the week of the race. And I think that worked for me. I think it was pretty good.
yeah, cool. And what about crew? Did you have anyone crewing for you at either of them?
In the first one, my family came along for an hour here and there. And I had a mate, Pete, he came along to help the three of us in the gazebo together. Um, in 2024, I had a whole bunch of different crew. So I had my friend Erica, Phil. Um, I don't want to miss anyone out here. Obviously, I had my wife and kids there crewing. They were there for most of the day, and then they camped during the night. And then my wife would get up during the night, when I was coming in and stuff. And I had a volunteer, Ian, come and help her as well. And they were fantastic. So it was different because I had 4 or 5 different crew throughout the whole day. But it was a lot easier than the year before having someone.
Right.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, your your first two backyard ultras are very similar to mine because my first I did 16, you did 15. In my second, I did 22 as well. So, but not too many people dropped so close to 24. So what happened at the end?
I think it was about 12 laps in. I rolled my ankle just like slightly. I've got a really dodgy left ankle, and it
Right.
always seems to find a pothole or an uneven
Uh,
surface.
yeah.
And when you just take a couple of steps and go, oh, it'll be right, it's all fine. And I thought it was. But gradually over the next 8 hours, I kind of just changed my gait just a little bit without really recognizing. And this was all brought to life after the race. So I think 20 yards in, I started just getting a little, a little bit of pain in the left ankle. And looking back on it, I should have brought it to the attention of the medical staff there, and they could have taped it or something. And who knows if it would have prolonged things. So I went out in yard 21. Um, and it got progressively worse. I think I dropped down to about 54, 55 minutes for that yard. And I was like, yeah, this is getting bad. This is not going to improve. You know how you ride the roller coasters of pain and suffering and stuff. This one, I just knew that something was wrong.
Mm.
But I was so determined to get to lap 22. I wanted to wear my tutu. And for those people that know me, you'll often see me running in my rainbow singlet. So to get to lap 22, I've got my rainbow tutu. Um, that, you know, the rainbow colors are pretty important to me because, a lot of my inspiration comes from a little girl named Chloe who loved rainbows and stuff. So getting to lap 22 was pretty important for me. And so I got out there and I absolutely just struggled through that lap. And I was like, yeah, this is probably my last lap. The ankle's no good. And then I just ran all these calculations through my head. I was like, how much do I have to run? How much do I have to walk just so I can beat the hour? And I think I came in around 59 minutes. I just wanted to get it done. And I knew that I'd given everything to that yard, that um, my race was pretty much over. My ankle was giving me a lot of grief and stuff. So we wrapped things up. Didn't get to see the sunrise, so that was a bit disappointing. Very happy with my improvement. And then it wasn't until a few days later, because normally when I've got a problem with my ankle, the physio will just say, wait until the swelling goes down and we'll start working on it. So I gave it a chance for the swelling to go down. We got to about Wednesday and it was like just a big balloon. And I was like, okay, well, the swelling's not going down. So I went to a podiatrist and he looked at it, fiddled around, whack, 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 put it back into place. And he said, oh, yeah, one of the bones in your foot moved about 5 millimeters.
Right.
I was like, righto, what does that mean? How long can I run for? He goes, no, you'll be right in a couple of days.
Right.
So
Well,
the swelling went down in like half an hour or something. And I think I was back running like 10 days later.
gee, he's a good podiatrist, did you say?
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's awesome. I've been seeing him the last 12 months. Every time there's like a little bit of an issue, I go there and he fixes me right up.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, you've had a huge backyard ultra year this year, 2025. Like, did you set yourself any goals at the start of the year as far as the results you wanted to achieve in backyard ultras?
Yeah, well, I'm not much of a planner. I've got no running plan at all. That's kind of why I took on the Horsens. It's like you just wake up and you know you've got to do 6.7 or more. So that made it a lot easier for me. My plan for 2025 was all backwards. Um, I booked in Reds straight away, and then I tried to get into Dead Cow Gully, and I think it was sold out or something like that. And I heard, like the people that were going there, it's like, "Oh, I've got to be involved somehow." Because
Yeah.
I almost went up in 2024. Um, so I just kept on checking, like every couple of days, I just get on there, and all of a sudden there was a ticket available. And I've got a little group chat with Jashy, and I was like, Jashy, there's a ticket available for Dead Cow Gully. What should I do? And he's like, buy it. Um, so I signed up. I was like, I don't know what I can do up there, but I just want to be there. I want to be in the presence of these people. I want to be out in the course with these people. It was really building for something special. Um, so I signed up for that, and then I was going to crew Jashy at Sydney's with Phil and Jimmy B and Ryan all going there. And again, 2 weeks before, some extra tickets came up, and I said, Jashy, should I, sign up and then I'll come and crew you afterwards? He goes, yeah, do it. Um, so I was doing everything backwards. Like I had Reds planned, and then like I'm booking all these other ones in closer to the events and stuff. So uh, goals, I looked at it and thought I've got three backyard ultras here. Either I can have a crack at getting to 24 in all of them, or at least I can learn something from each of them. Um, yeah, so that was the big goal. 24, like I did think that maybe there's a chance of getting like 30 plus, but I wanted to get that 24. Like I think it's been a big milestone for me. Yeah, it's just something that's been out of reach for a little while and something I was chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's talk a little bit about Dead Cow Gully. You mentioned before that it was like the first race you followed, and how much you love the documentary and all that. So, you must have been absolutely frothing for this one.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a fun little journey leading up to it because I drove up with Peter and Clay in the Roach coach, so the three of us up together. So that was a lot of fun, and we rocked up there, and yeah, um, we had a house there with me, Clay, Jashy, and Caroline. And that was really good. And it was just the vibe. Like we got there on the Thursday night and just getting to this remote country town, but knowing that there was 250 people there to run that event, and you've got these super athletes from all over the world coming to one area, you know, to take this on. It was just, it was exciting. There was something in the air, you know, like even the Friday night when we got together for dinner and stuff like that. It's just, the vibe was just so awesome. There's like, you know, everyone was buzzing and everything. And yeah, I was just really looking forward to running with people. And the other thing was the people that were coming up crewing
Mm.
was going to be awesome as well.
Yeah.
I knew a lot of the crew members coming up, so I knew that was we were set for a really good quality 5 days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you ran and you crewed for Jashy after you dropped, right? So how did the run side of things go for you?
Not good.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, look, the couple of days leading into it, I'd had a bit of a fever, just at night time. It was really weird because like, I just have these hot fevers during the night, and then I'd wake up and I'd feel good, you know. Same thing happened on race day. I woke up and I felt good. I felt like I had good energy and everything. So I went out there, and the first 6 yards, I reckon, was probably the best first 6 yards I've had. Like there was no issues at all. I was self-crewing at this time as well. I think Red was going to crew me during the night. She was going up there, and yeah, and then things just went downhill real quick. I remember coming in. I think it was like lap 11 maybe, and I was sweating, and I was just turning to the other guys. I go, "Is it just me or is it hot?" And they're like, "No, man, it's just you."
right. Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, yeah, things aren't, you know, looking too good." And I just, yeah, it went downhill pretty quickly. Um, got to lap 13. Um, apparently, like, yeah, I was only coming in with like a minute or two to spare, and Timmy Moffat's crew member, Backyard Benny, he was helping me out. So he had a fresh shirt for me and some food and everything. I was like, "Nah, man, it's lap 13. All I want is my Tay Tay shirt."
Right.
So apparently I was yelling that out or something. So a few people said that to me over the next couple of days.
Yeah.
And we put that on, and I was like, all right, it's lap 13. If this doesn't get me going, nothing will. So I actually went out and did the lap with Timmy Moffat, and he was chirping at me the whole way, like really motivating me and stuff. And oh man, I was just death marching the whole way. I was like, all right, I know I can get this lap done, man, but I am absolutely struggling. So to his credit, he stuck with me. I was like, nah, just leave him, man. I'll go do it. I'll get it done. He's like, nah, if you don't finish this yard, neither do I.
Yeah.
And I knew Timmy was in for a big event. Like he was running really well, and he went on to go get a PB. He was sensational. Um, anyway, he got me through that yard, and that was really awesome.
Mm.
But then I went out for one more yard. I was like, I've got to go out. I can't just quit. And the next yard took me an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, gee. Um, 13 yards though. I mean, it's still pretty good, and I mean, you mustn't have been too disappointed because I mean, you have a if you're sick, there's nothing really you can do about that.
Yeah, and I feel really bad as well, like because um, like well, it wasn't contagious. Luckily, no one else got sick that I know of. If you did, sorry. Um, I honestly thought I was all right to run. Um, yeah, I've told a few people that what I did was when I was out there, I did a little video. Um, Now, this is actually not one of my three tips, but it's something that I do recommend people do. And if you've ran with me, you know I'm a bit of a weirdo out in course. Like I'll sing to myself, and even during Red, some people saw me talking to the Jashy head that we had on the stick.
Right.
And yeah, on my last lap at Dead Cow Gully, I did a video to um, Sunday Simon. So when I go back and have a sleep and wake up on Sunday, I can watch this video and look at it and go, "Yeah, man, you gave it everything you got." Like, when so often people will look back and go, "Oh, I could have done one more. Like, I should have gone out again." I think it's also good, like especially if you get timed out, do a video to yourself. That way you remember exactly what you were feeling, the state of mind that you were in, the state your body's in, and stuff like that. And that helped me cope with it a lot more. So I watched that video the next day. I was like, well, yeah, I did everything I could have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But I tell you what, that last lap that took an hour and 40 minutes, it was the worst lap I've ever done. Like it was horrible, but it was all worth it because um, when I was coming back, because it's an out and back night course, when I came back, I loved running with those guys out there and stuff. And I just said, "Hey guys, it's been a pleasure running with you guys. Thanks very much." All that. And then as I was coming back, like people were hugging me, high-fiving me, like stopping to say well done and all that. And like, yeah, it was really nice. Like and that's what the running community is like. And I was absolutely blown away because I didn't want anyone to stop. I wanted them to focus on their own race. But for these guys to take, 5, 10 seconds out of their race just to stop and give us a hug and whatnot, like that was something really special.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is easy, especially when you're finished and you're really struggling and you're hurting. It is easy to get a bit emotional out there. So, did you get a bit emotional when this was happening, or?
Um, I did probably a little bit after everyone went. I was like just trying to hold it all together. But there's some funny buggers out there, like Jimmy B had me laughing and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, you're either laughing or you're crying out there, aren't you? Yeah, so
Um,
it's really
so, I mean,
good.
but your race didn't end there because you were part of Jashy's crew, and that must have been absolutely epic.
Yeah, just to clarify, I was sent to get a COVID test before entering the
Oh,
crew quarters,
yeah.
just in case. And I was like, wasn't so much worried about getting Jashy sick. I was more worried about getting the crew sick and then no one being there to help Jashy. So, yeah, got the all clear on that, and yeah, that was unreal. Like that guy is a machine. Like, and he's the funniest dude as well. Like, spend some time with Jashy. He's got the best sense of humor, and our Jashy tent, we're always having so much fun there. The banter is very strong. I remember walking in there, and Jashy goes, like I told him I did 13 yards. He goes, "Simon, you know what your problem is?" I was like, "Here we go. Give it to me, Jashy." He goes, "You're just too busy." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right, I am." And yeah, I probably took on too much, but I can't say no to these things. Like, I've had so much fun this year. I've done so much, but I've loved every minute of it. And even if I didn't get the 24 hours at Reds, I wouldn't have changed a single thing that I did this year. I've
Yeah.
loved what I've done and who I've done it with.
So you've seen a lot of Jashy in action at races, either running with him or crewing for him. What has spending time with like a champion like Jashy taught you about running backyard ultras yourself?
Yeah, well, I probably can't put my finger on exactly what he's done for me because I've just picked up so many little things off him.
Yeah.
Um, So it's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is. But I remember when I ran with him at Sydney's, he was just had such a calming effect on me. Like even when I was coming in with only a couple of minutes to spare and stuff, he's such a calm person. Um, so I remember one time at Sydney's, I was like, I said to my crew member Harps from the Trail Snails, I said, "Oh, can I sit next to Jashy for this one?" Like I was in a bit of a dark space. And he put up a chair next to Jashy, and me and Jashy just like there, just hanging out for a couple of minutes, and that's all I need. Like and Jashy was just saying a few little words to me and stuff, and that refocused me, and had me ready to go out again, and probably did another 5 or 6 laps after that. So yeah, it's just he's a good person to have in your corner.
Mm.
Yeah,
And what do you think it is that makes Jashy so good at backyards?
I think just the way that he analyzes and breaks down the race and what someone can do, like what someone's capable of, and that belief that he's got in himself, that he can run long. Like you look at his progression, and you've spoken about his progression on the show many times before. Going from that 27 at Reds to winning Sydney, then coming back to Reds and doing 57, going stat champs, doing 75 and then 80 at Sydney, and then onto 100 at Dead Cow Gully. The guy just learns something so important from each of his races. Um, like whether it be looking at his nutrition or looking at his foot care. Like the guy he walks away from a race and goes, okay, that's what I need to fix. That's what I need to get better at. And he does it just like on this amazing scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, like if you look at his plan, uh, it, it's very similar to Phil. Like every lap is, it's analyzed every single lap. And of course, I think the big key to his success as well is Caroline. Like she's there every race. Like Phil's got Gemma, Jashy's got Caroline, and they're a great team. They're a great vibe. Anyone who's in the tent there. And there's a couple of guys that are regular guys, regular crew members there as well. And we just all get along really well. So
Yeah, awesome. Um, so I mean, you are a jack of all trades because as well as crewing for Jashy and running, you helped out on the live stream too. When I needed a sleep, you stepped up to the plate and you were awesome.
oh man, I had no idea what I was doing there. I'm like, Pato, what do I do? Because like you come up to me and say, "Oh, how about you? Can you fill in for a couple of hours?" I was like, "Hours? What?" And you're like, "Yeah, man, it's easy. Just read the comments." I was like, "How's this going to fill in 3 hours? We'll have a crack at it." I mean, I loved it. I had the best time, and thank goodness your followers are bloody awesome. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I can say that, but they're awesome. And they kept the show moving along. So yeah, they'd pop up with questions and stuff, and yeah, everything just flowed. There wasn't a dull moment. And that time absolutely flew past. I think you came up to me afterwards, and I was like, "Oh, that's 3 hours already."
Yeah, yeah.
It was cool. We had people like Gemma was on there, so that was pretty cool because so it was late in Queensland, but over in Perth it was still pretty early. Um, we had people from overseas and stuff, and that was cool because I'd just been to America, I think the
Oh,
month before.
yeah.
So like when people were there from LA, I was like, oh, I was in LA, and like just chatting about that. And I actually just rocked up to work a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't my normal crew. And one of the bosses said, "Oh, I was following you on the live stream." I
Oh,
was like,
really?
"I hope it was all right."
Yeah, that's unreal. Um, so Reds just recently. I guess, I mean, how did your result at Dead Cow Gully impact how you approached your running at Reds, if at all?
Oh yeah, I was pretty fired up. Not like fired up to do well. My like big thing going into Reds was redemption. It was I hadn't quite got the results at Sydney. I only signed up 2 weeks before Sydney, so I was still happy with what I did there. And then with Dead Cow, and just the month leading into it was all about redemption. This was my opportunity. I wanted to get everything as right as possible. And as you know, even if you get everything right for race day, you still need things to go your way. But that was my big push. And like I was ready to embrace the pain and struggle and everything like that, and to push through everything. Um, so to get ready for that, I really upped my mileage. I'd actually done the Sydney Marathon in August. So I signed up for that for a bit of fun because it was the first year it was a major and it was 4 weeks after Reds was meant to be. So I was like, oh, I'll just go along, I'll walk it or walk run it or whatever. So when Reds got postponed, I was like, I haven't done any marathon training. I probably should do something. So I think the only marathon training I did was like I went out for a 25K non-stop run because everything else had been run walk pretty much. So I rocked up to the marathon and I was on track for like a half an hour PB and then got to the 32K mark and I had the worst cramps in my life. So I
Right.
got from there. Anyway, so the reason that I brought that up is leading into Reds, it actually took me longer than expected to recover from the marathon. So that kind of pushed things back. So I really only had a 3 or 4 week training block. So I just bumped up the Ks as much as I could. Um, did about 400 Ks over the 4 weeks. And then the biggest difference I did this time was twice during those weeks, I went out and did a 55K simulation from 11 p.m. till 7 a.m.
Wow.
So it was pretty much, it wasn't a backyard course or anything. It was just, I'd go out, I'd run for 2 minutes, walk for 2 minutes until I hit my 6.7. Then I'd walk until the next hour started. So I was doing probably about 7.5 Ks each hour.
Mm.
And that included like, I'd stop at like a service station to pick up some supplies and stuff like that. Um, that was all about getting me from the end of the 15th yard to the sunrise
Right.
because everyone had spoken about how once the sun comes up, you get this renewed energy and everything. And I'd never felt that before because I'd never made it. So that's why I really wanted to do that in my training runs. And every single time I did that, it'd get to about 6 o'clock, the sun would come up, and I would feel so good.
Mm.
So I knew that going into Reds, it didn't matter if I felt that low, around 4 a.m. or something, because I knew not what I'd heard of, but what I'd experienced was that uplifting when the sun comes up.
Yeah,
So
nice.
that was the biggest difference I did with my training this year. So I did, one of them was a lap around Lake Illawarra down near my way. So that worked out to be right on 55K. And then I did one that was slightly longer. And this was thanks to Clayton. And I think Stephen Redfern has done this one as well. It was a 55K run around Sydney City. So it kind of goes all the way around in a circle and then like a little arc out of it around the airport. So it actually looks like a really cool circle. So not only was it good training, it was some pretty cool Strava art as well.
Yeah, yeah. So fartleks, like Mona fartlek and stuff like this is kind of like a backyard ultra version of a fartlek.
Yeah, without the fast running.
You can call it the Roach fartlek.
Good, absolutely. Yeah.
So so you would know like believing you can do it is so important in backyard ultras. I mean, you hadn't broken 24 before, but did you absolutely believe you could do it?
It was going to go one of two ways. Once again, my shocking left ankle had found the only uneven bit of grass. So that one that I did around Sydney, the 55Ks around Sydney, I think I was running on grass for maybe 100 meters. And during that 100 meters, my left ankle found the only pothole that was there. But it was fine. Like there was no drama. I went to my podiatrist a couple of days later and he gave me the all clear. Like it was just a mental thing. I just needed him to tell me that it was okay and that was and that's all I needed to hear. I rocked up to Reds thinking I'm either going to do 24 or I'm going to do like 8 or 9 and my ankle's going to fall apart.
Right.
So the whole time I was running, um, I was like, as long as my ankle holds together, I've got 24. Like I was pretty confident.
Yeah.
And I know people will be watching going, man, why are you saying 24? Like, go longer, you know? Um, my goals, I use the report card system, and I got this from the trail snails. It might have been Duncan, I'm not sure. Um, so you go in with like an E grade, a D grade, C grade, B grade, and A grade. And my A grade was 30 plus.
Mm.
My B grade was 24. So I didn't stop at 24 because I'd reached my goal because I still had another step.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did
Um,
you like as far as strategy goes, did you change anything there?
uh, yeah, a little bit. So a lot of my training is 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. Um, and I know, Jashy's one guy that's tried to get me to run to the course more than just run to a time. For me, it's a mental thing. As soon as I hear my watch, I click from, walking to running, and it just keeps me going. And it worked really well in 2024. In 2025, I changed things. So I went out with the same concept, and I did that most of the time during the day. As I got a bit later in the day, I did change things up and I started running to the course. So, when there was an uphill, I walked it. When there was a downhill, I'd run it. And it was always in my mind around you walk for half the time and run for half the time. So that strategy was still there. It's just that I mixed it up a little bit, and it worked really well because when I got to the night time, I knew the course a lot better than I had any other year, and I stuck to those walking running patterns on the course. So definitely did try something different, and I think it worked a lot better for me.
Excellent. So you did 22 yards last year, as we discussed. How did it feel this year to keep going and surpass that 22 yard mark?
Yeah, really good. Actually, it was funny because getting close to that 20-second lap, I was going so well. My tutu is actually pretty massive, so it's quite heavy.
Yeah.
Uh, so getting to the end of lap 21, I was like, oh, I might miss the tutu this year. Like, I'm going really well. I don't want it to stuff me up. Yeah. And then I got to my tent and I saw that rainbow. I was like, yeah, this one's for Chloe. So I got that 2-2 on, and I didn't care. If that stopped my race, it didn't matter. I think the rainbow colors means more to me than any result. And who knows, mate, maybe it gave me an extra bit of strength as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so getting to that, that was good. That was a good lap. As soon as I finished lap 22, I knew I had two more in me because I knew the pain I'd run through the last year. So coming in on that lap 24, I think Harps took a video of me, and I think I look a bit serious and stuff. But it was me kind of like holding on to my emotions and stuff. I was like, my race isn't done yet. I was excited. I was happy. I was full of 1,000 different emotions, and I was so glad I got there. But it was just like every other lap. I finished. I took my selfie with the clock in the background, which I'd done 23 times before that, and then marched on into my tent. And Harps and Jill were there, and they got me ready. They got me out in the next lap, and off we went. It was business as usual kind of thing. And
Mm.
unfortunately, only lasted one more lap. Um, but yeah, I was so pumped. I was so excited. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you mentioned before that you like doing a video when you're close to the end in your races. So did you do a video for this race as well during the 25th yard or anything like that?
I did one during the 25th yard. I think it was along the lines of, man, so happy with how my race is going, but the body's starting to, break up a little. And um, yeah, I knew that I was just going through another roller coaster, and um, you know, maybe I could have kept on going and just ride it out and embrace that struggle and see things turned.
Mm.
When I went out in lap 26, like I was hurting. Um, whether it was just that moment that I've switched off that's affected everything, or if it was just, you know, I was happy enough with what I'd done. Um, I couldn't really tell you, like, even thinking back to it now, I just knew that there were a few things. I had this, like, I was pretty lucky. I only had one blister, but it was massive. It was on my little toe. Now, it
Right.
hadn't spread to the other toes, but it was so big, it was actually underneath my next toe. So I was actually running on top of it with a different toe.
Oh man.
It was pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
Um, but then again, as the race went on and I saw other runners finish, I saw their feet. I was like, you know what? I really should have kept on going.
Right.
We were pretty good. Um, but yeah, I went out in lap 26 and um, I decided I'd go out there and I'd shake everyone's hand and wish them well and stuff. And that was really nice. I knew a lot of people that were still in the race. I think there was maybe 18, 19 people left or something. And I went to shake hands with Chris Martin. I absolutely had a ball running with him. Like every time I'd see him run past, I'd pinch myself going, oh, Chris Martin's out here. And like Nachi was out there as well. And it was really awesome. Anyway, I've gone to shake his hand and he's grabbed my hand and started running.
Right.
It's like, come on, man, you got one more lap in you. I was like, oh, this is Chris Martin dragging you out in another lap. I was like, this is so awesome. And unfortunately, I just couldn't do it. I felt so bad that I let him down. But, I look back at it now. Surely I had enough to get me through. I don't know.
Yeah.
You
Well,
look
look, I mean,
at your things at the end of these races, don't you?
yeah. Well, I bet you're glad though that you did keep on going out and didn't just stop on 24 though.
Oh, there was no way. I was actually scared of Caroline. I was worried about when they got back from America that she wouldn't have been too impressed with me stopping on 24. So I knew I had to do at least one more.
Yeah.
And it
Um,
was the nicest thing seeing those guys the following week. Yeah, they were just so happy for me as well. Like that meant a lot. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's unreal. Now, when we were at Dead Cow Gully, I don't know if you remember, but Tim Moffat mentioned that you respond, and you've been kind of alluded to this before as well. You respond well to getting. I mean, I don't know if you would call it verbally abused, but you respond well to getting verbally abused a bit when you're running backyard ultras.
Yeah, look, I like the tough love. Um, so yeah, I'm one of those runners. I think there's a few of us in backyard ultras. It's like if someone says that you can't do something, you really want to do it.
Yeah,
So yeah, if I'm ever racing with one of you guys out there and it looks like I'm quitting, rip into me. Um, you know, just say, that I'm giving up too easy, or come up with something creative that'll get me going. And I reckon I'll do another lap. I know one thing's for sure. The next time I run with Chris Martin, I'm definitely going that one extra lap with him.
yeah, excellent.
But yeah, Timmy's right, and that lap 13 we did at Dead Cow Gully together. There was a big mixture of Timmy Mofo, you know, motivation going on. He tried everything, and
Yeah, yeah,
I just felt so bad for him because he tried so much, and I must have been the most miserable guy on course that lap. And normally I'm not. Normally I'm really upbeat. I love being out there, and even when I'm grumpy, like I'll look back at that 13th lap. I was in so much pain, but I'm glad I did it because running that lap with those guys, dragging me along, it was really nice.
yeah, unreal. Now, Backyard Ultra Run Club, I know you're a member of. Is it correct that you've run at every one?
Not quite, no.
Mm.
Um, so I missed two of them because I went to America twice, so I missed one with each of those, and then I missed one with the Sydney Marathon as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks awesome though. Like it looks like it's really like bought you guys. You got a really good crew.
Oh, I love it. It is the most amazing thing, and Clayton, like it's Clayton's baby, and oh man, what that guy has invested to it, like his time. He's set up his website. Like even like when it's either him or someone else who's designed one of the Burke runs, he then does like a little logo for it. They're really cool,
Yeah.
and he's got his awesome shirt, and then yeah, he comes out with his shirt with the 12 races for that year on there and stuff, and um, the guy's totally awesome, and I'm so glad that he's started that up because I have met some of the most amazing people at those get-togethers. Um, some people, I'll just meet with them once a month. Sometimes I'll run with them more often, like if we're in the same area and stuff. But um, yeah, it's been the best thing for me. Like, I love what he's done with it, and I love the people that are involved. It's such a great community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. Um, so it's December, and I'll be doing an interview podcast with the Dubinator, Tim Kaprazak, and Ben Nichols, and we'll be recapping the year. So I thought maybe I'll tell you the categories that we're going to be talking about, and you can tell me who your picks are.
Oh,
How does
okay.
that sound?
Yeah.
Um, Race of the year.
For next year.
The race of 2025, and this can be Australian or world. What has been the race of the year?
Can't go past Dead Cow Gully. I know it's going to be cliche. It's probably going to be one that everyone's going to go to. But the fact that, like, for me personally, I was there pretty much probably 110 of the hours. It was put on the socials that I went and got, food for Jashy and all that. Um, but just seeing that unfold, seeing my main man Jashy get 100 yards, seeing a lot of my friends get PBs, and just the ultimate battle at the end. Phil was amazing, and Sam, what he did to do 118, and for me personally to spend time with the crew members that were involved and stuff, it is not only I think the race of the year. It was dubbed the race of the decade. I actually called it personally the race of a lifetime. And I don't think I'll ever forget that race. And I could run 50 yards at my next backyard ultra, and I'd still probably hold Dead Cow Gully 2025 above that.
Yeah,
Uh, it was just the people involved, the crew members, the runners, the race directors, yourself there with the live stream. Um, Mate, it was.
yeah. It was epic. It was epic.
I think I was out there. I think I was doing a video. I did quite a few videos, and why wouldn't I? When the number of runners that were there were phenomenal, and I decided to go out to the front of the pack a little bit just to see who's there, and like I'm running along, and I'm like, oh, here's Ryan, and here's Phil, and like a whole bunch of other guys, and then I said, this is just like Christmas. It's like when you Christmas Eve and you unwrap a present, but then you wake up on Christmas morning and there's more presents. And then like I'm looking around, there's more people, more people, more people. It's like it was just the best thing ever. You
Yeah,
didn't have to run far to see another person. And like even Holly and Sarah from the Snails, like I hadn't met them before, but they were such a vibe out in the course. So it wasn't just like um, the people that you'd heard of, the new people that you got to meet as well. It was just fantastic, and to see those two in particular run so well, also, and then I've been able to continue following their journey since. So yeah, that would definitely be my race of the year.
yeah. Awesome. Backyard Ultra Runner of the Year.
Mm. Oh, I bet you love putting people on the spot like this, don't you?
I thought this would be an easy one to answer straight away.
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I just had to go through everyone first, but
Yeah.
it's like every time I listen to your podcast, when you ask questions like that, I was like, I wonder if people have got, an answer, ready to go on, and I am totally unprepared for this. Uh,
Sorry,
but
man. Sorry, man.
it's pretty easy. It's my man Jashy.
Yeah.
You know, to see him at Sydney, like not everyone saw him at Sydney, and he gave it absolutely everything to get those 80 yards. And to finish as the assist there was pretty special. He actually had me in tears. when he DNF'd there, like that was an emotional time because he'd done so well, but you could see the pain he was in at the end, and like to see a mate in pain like that, it does get you. But I was so proud of him, and then to do 100 at Dead Cow Gully and to represent not only Australia but himself over in Tennessee at Biggs. I couldn't be prouder of the guy, and I know I'm a bit biased, um, but yeah, he's my backyard ultra runner of the year.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Single best performance of the year?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go with backyard Benny at Reds when he did 25. We did 25 together, and he was such a vibe out in the course, and I'm pretty sure he was in a fair amount of pain for a lot of that. And the guy just kept on going with a smile on his face. Even, I think it was like lap 24 or 25. I think he was still like wearing wigs and stuff. And, um, he even did, he stopped during one of the laps to do a video, um, for the Burke,
Mm,
community and stuff. I'm like, this guy is on a whole nother level. I love it. And you know what? He's not done there. Wait until he signs up to his next one. I can't wait to see what he does next. Yeah, I just reckon he needs a special mention. So he gets my, was it performance of the year?
yeah, perfect. I love it. Backyard Ultra story of the year.
Mm.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Sarah Perry.
Yeah, nice one.
Breaking the female record, not only the female record, but what was it, the English record or Great Britain record?
Yeah,
That is something special. I was glued to the coverage of Biggs, and that's just one thing that really stood out for me. Yeah, so I know you've just asked for the performance, but I reckon that's a massive thing. That's like that is inspirational. Watching her, that was really cool. So
yeah.
yeah, she
Yeah, no, that's a good call because I mean, I was saying as well, like I think she could be an absolute superstar, like break not just in the running world, but break through to the mainstream.
yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. And yeah, that was just one thing that really stood out for me because that was such an epic battle that her and oh well, it wasn't that her and Meg were having a battle because they were running together and running so well. But I guess just in my own mind, I was so excited. I was like, oh, I hope they just keep on going. I didn't want either of them to stop. So um, maybe that was the story. And I'm sure those girls would not have been like no, there was no competition there. But for me personally, it was so good to watch them do so well. Just like at um, Dead Cow Gully when Jane and Holly broke the Australian and Kiwi record, and that was so awesome. That was in the same yard, and the existing record holders were both there to greet them as well.
Yeah,
It's
very
it, it, yeah, it's been a massive year in women's backyard ultra, so I reckon that's really cool.
yeah. Runners to watch in 2026.
The Dingo, Ezra. Yep, he is out of control. I think Benny said, oh no, Warren said that he's the first person, was it, to break 50 twice within 5 weeks, and he didn't look like stopping at Reds.
Mm,
So I'm very excited to see. It's going to be a massive year for him. It's really cool. I hope that he gets to gets the opportunity in a race to make that Australian side because I reckon he'll be a great benefit to the team.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's obvious he is the real deal. He is the real deal.
he is a strong man. So yeah, looking forward to what he can do next.
Yeah. And the last question for the year, predictions for 2026.
Oh, um, predictions for 2026 for Australians to get 100 plus at SAT champs.
4.
Oh, yeah,
I love
at
it.
least.
I love it. I love it.
I think Jashy's probably yelling at me right now, going, "No, it'll be 15." Yeah. I reckon Australia's already building a very strong team, and I know that you've got a big audience overseas as well, and I feel really bad that a lot of my predictions are around the Australian stuff. Sorry, guys, um, but yeah, I reckon I reckon we're going to see a really good Sat Champs next October at Reds.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So I don't know if you listened to this podcast or not when Merlin was on. Um, he'll be passing through Sydney soon. So will you be out to run with him for a bit?
Yeah, the last I heard, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. So yeah, I'm on annual leave at the moment, so I'll be up there. I don't know if he's going to run through Wollongong as well, so I might run with him a couple of days.
Oh, awesome.
It was very exciting. Yeah, I loved how he, talked about how he's slowing down to what, 2 or 3 Ks an hour, going up those massive hills in Queensland and stuff. Um, what was he saying? It's brutal.
Yeah, Bruce. Yeah,
Oh, mate, I can't wait to meet the guy. He sounds like an absolute blast. So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, what a cool dude to be doing what he's doing. And I loved how um, I you were asking whether it was a legit thing or not, but I love how he touched the water at the top, and then he's going to touch it in Victoria as well.
yeah,
And I think that should be a thing because you can't get much further than getting to the water.
yeah. That's it.
One thing I'll be asking him is because he wants to arrive um, at the tip of Victoria around New Year's. Well, I'm going to be down the Mornington Peninsula just after Christmas, so hopefully he's running down that way, and I might get to run with him a third day.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
He'll be Sydney.
Yeah. Now I saw that you'll be lining up at I'm Still Standing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like I took the last ticket to Reds in 2023, I managed to get the second last entry into I'm Still Standing. So, yep, I'm signed up and ready to go.
Yeah,
I missed the recce run last weekend, but I did get out for a lap a couple of weeks ago. It is, yeah, it's flat as a tack, so that suits me. I don't do much elevation,
yeah,
um, and it's concrete, and most of my running's on road and concrete. So um, I probably will get sick of it, but I'm prepared to have a go at it. And yeah, I've run with Lisa a few times, so I'm really excited about going out to her event and having a go.
yeah, unreal. It's going to be a good race. I know that Mitch will be running again, and John Berry. They're both fired up, and I've got a feeling that Ezra might be lining up too.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one yet. That'd be good.
Yeah, it's going to be, and I'll be there crewing for Dom.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Uh,
And Clay's running.
yeah, Clay's running. I think Woz is running too.
Yeah. 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 I want to get was to another PB. He did, was it 15 at Reds? So want to get him even further. So I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah,
Um,
I love that. I would love to see that. Are you setting yourself like a thought about your D, C, B, A goals for
yeah,
that?
I haven't thought about all of them yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll be tuned into, really dialed into to get 30 plus. Yeah.
Unreal.
I'll have the great man himself in my corner, I think, on Saturday night. So Jashy's going to crew me at night time,
Yep.
which is great. Yeah.
Yep, unreal. So, no stopping at night time then.
No. But,
Um,
but I but I do need to remind Jashy that the only backyard ultra I've done without him, I did get a PB. So
ooh. I mean, you've had an awesome year. You've done so much. I mean, you've broke 24 for the first time. You crew Jashy to 100 yards. Backyard Ultra is going to continue being front and center of your running schedule.
yeah, so I've got to make a decision if I'm going to do the Horsens yard a day again next year. It's worked really well for me because I'm a real bad planner with running programs, so that's been really good. But I do feel like, especially coming towards the end of the year, with all the races, it has like I've got to manage my fatigue levels and stuff. So I'm in 2 months. I probably will sign up to it. Whether or not I get through all of next year, we'll see. But the big thing was with this year's one, I was like, this is one backyard ultra I'm not going to DNF at. So I've got 24 days to get through that, and I feel like I can get to the end. I did write down my races because I was like, I'm going to forget.
Yeah.
Um, yep, I'm up for three backyards next year. I'm still standing. Um, I've signed up for Coffs Harbour. I'm hoping that's actually one that I can do with my kids. They've expressed interest in doing one. But that is 3 weeks after the UTA 100. So that's my first 100K trail point to point. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Mm.
I've got Reds, of course. Um, and a non-backyard one I've got is the 24 park runs in 24 hours. So that's on January 3rd. And I'm also also having a crack at Hardcore Harry's last one.
Ooh, awesome. I'm running too. I've
That's
signed up.
January 1. Yeah.
Yeah, how good was that? Oh, is this? Oh, I thought you were talking about King of the Hill though.
No, oh, I could do that. This is the one where it's the calendar one. So January 1st, you run 1K, then
Yeah,
2Ks. Um, so my aim is, um, yeah, let's say last one standing. Nah,
yeah,
I'll be happy to get through January. I think if I get to January 31st, I think it's like a 180 or 190K week. So
yeah, yeah, and heaps for the month as well.
yeah,
Awesome.
and I think I might be able to do a 6 week taper to I'm still standing after that.
Awesome. So Simon, you did mention before you've got your three backyard ultra tips lined up, ready to go.
Got them written down. Yeah. Um, Before that, I just thought that I should probably explain the Roach nickname that I
Okay.
got in Sydney earlier this year. So I had the great snail harps crewing me, and I had a bit of a stomach issue for a couple of weeks leading into it. And anyway, so you know, got stuck into it, and the first couple of laps are going okay. It was a really hot day, and yeah, the stomach issues didn't disappear, and I had a bit of a stack on like lap 8 or something as well, and pretty much just went to a liquid diet, and I was probably looking like death, 10 yards in or whatever. And I kept on coming in with a couple of minutes to spare, and I can't remember. I think someone said, "Oh, Simon, you made it." I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm like a cockroach. You can't kill me." And that kind of started things,
Yeah.
but it wasn't until I think about lap 16 or 17 I came in and I just had to change my shoes, and there'll be a few people laughing at my shoe changes. So I came in with like a minute or two to spare. I took off my shoes, I threw them in the tent, and Harps, he was ready for me. He gave me a vest that had, water and all sorts of stuff in it, and then gave me a pair of shoes, and pretty much didn't have time to do anything. So I just grabbed them, put the vest on, and then the bell's gone. So I've taken 2 steps out of the corral, and then the only way I could actually put my shoes on was to lie down on my back. So I'm like down on my back with my foot up, putting the shoe on, and someone's taken a photo with yeah, with Timmy. Like Timmy's in the background just looking at me because you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I look like a cockroach. So it was just that and the comment that went together. And then I think by the time the race ended, someone had done an AI little thing of me in my rainbow shirt with like, a cockroach on me or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, so just in case you're wondering where that comes from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Roach. I love it. It's a good nickname, I reckon, the Roach. It just sounds good.
Yeah, well, it was funny because at Reds, there was actually a runner there that I actually used to teach back in the day, and his last name is Roach. So we ran together. I was like, "Oh, there's two roaches running together," you know. And yeah, yeah. I guess yeah. The more you complain about a nickname, the more it sticks. So yeah,
Oh. Um,
yeah.
okay. Number one.
All right. Number one is to embrace the pain and struggle and ride the roller coaster of emotions. That's my number one tip. One thing that I took on this year is sauna and ice baths. Um, I really struggle with the ice baths, but um, when I spend my 3 minutes in the ice bath, I'm like, okay, this is nothing compared to what I'm going to feel on, lap 24, lap 25, whatever lap. So I sit there and I just embrace it. And I think mentally and physically, that really helped me in my races. Like some people love ice baths. I actually really like them now, but sometimes they are a bit of a struggle. And I feel like that kind of helps me. So when I'm out there, and I'm feeling pain or whatever, I just try and take it all in stride.
Mm.
Yeah.
The did you actually buy like one of those tubs that you fill with ice and water, or where do you do your ice bath?
I might actually have to invest in one. No, there's a place in Wollongong that I go. And it's
Right.
just the sauna, ice baths, and those the ones that you put on your leg and with the compression. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I
Right.
can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but
No, excellent.
that's a
Excellent.
good recovery center.
Yeah. Cool. Um, number two.
Number two, okay, so have mood changes. Okay, so when I say mood changes, like have things that will change your mood. So at Reds, lap 12 was my Jimmy B and Ryan Crawford lap where I took a speaker out and I had a list of songs. So I'd put it out to a few people that I was going to do it, and they put some song requests. And even Jimmy B and Ryan got back to me with Lose Yourself from Eminem. So that was one of the first songs that was played. Um, so for me, I don't listen to a lot of music, especially early on in the race, but that was really good. Like that was just a lot of fun. We had it turned up. There's a few people that like that were singing. Like we had the song, was it I See Red? But we're
Right.
like, we'll run Reds because we're at Reds and stuff like that. I'm still standing and just stuff like that. And we had so much fun singing and changing the lyrics and stuff. And even the next day, people were coming up to me and going, "Oh man, that really helped me." We were getting into the night laps and stuff. I was like, "Yeah, well, that's what Ryan and Jimmy do, and that's helped me." So just having the speaker out on that lap, it seemed to help a lot of people and create a good vibe. So that's one of my mood changes.
Or and before you go into three, just with that mood changer thing, do you schedule the mood changer thing, or and if you don't, do you also have something up your sleeve to change your mood at a random time?
I do, yeah, yeah, a bit of everything. So the speaker was definitely locked in for lap 12. I can't remember, like, I think it was at Sydney's. I think Ryan got it out in lap 12. So that was just that. And then on lap 13, I had my Tay Tay shirt on. So I took the speaker again and only played Taylor Swift. I thought people will either embrace it or they'll get sick of me and I'll run the whole lap on my own. Anyway, I had people making requests. So it was actually cool.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
Because my daughter is a massive Swiftie. So yeah, that's something that's kind of, you know, it's like a little, personal thing. So
So you're a Swiftie too, by the sound of things.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Cool.
And like the shirts, so we've got a whole bunch of shirts that we wear on different yards and stuff, and with fancy dress. Like I'm sure most people have seen the photo of the two Claytons.
Yeah.
So a cool thing that they have at Reds is the first year Red hosted, her daughter had her second birthday, so lap two was a dress up. Then last year was lap three, and then this year was lap four.
Oh, yeah.
Now, lap four, we traditionally wear the Burke shirt. So I think most of the Aussies did it over at the World Championship, so that was really cool. Um, but at Reds, it was the dress up lap. And as soon as I heard that was lap four, I was like, well, I know exactly what I'm going to do for my dress up. I'm going to dress up as Clayton, and that way I get to wear the Burke shirt as well.
Yeah.
That was a cool vibe. Yeah.
It's unreal. Did he know you were going to do that, or was it a surprise?
He had no idea. And even Harps organized a Clayton run bib. So I had everything the same. So I had the same socks that Clayton wears. I had the same drink bottle. I had the Horson um, buff because he's got one as well. Um, yeah, we had heaps the same. And then as Clayton, because he had to walk past my gazebo to get to the start line, Harps was like, "Hey Clayton, are you ready to run now?" And like Clayton had no idea. And like I've stood up next to him. He's like, "Oh, what?" Uh,
I've seen photos of the two Claytons. I didn't actually know that it was you who was dressed up as him, though. I didn't know who it was.
well, I didn't see that photo until I think the next day, and I hadn't actually seen myself before it. So I was like, that was the first time I saw what I looked like.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Um, number three.
Number three. Okay. So I thought really hard about these ones because I didn't want the cliche ones and stuff. But this is one that's, pretty close to me. Um, get involved, whether it be spectating. So I've done all these spectating, volunteering, and crewing. Get involved those ways. Like it is so much fun and you get so much out of it. I've absolutely loved crewing over the last 12 months, and rocking up to just random backyards, spectating and putting a hand up to volunteer, because it opens your eyes to things that you'll miss just reflecting on your own race and can definitely help you in your next backyard ultra. Like, um, you know, like I learn things like when I'm crewing Jashy. As I said, I can't really put my finger on it because I've learned so many little things from him. But through crewing, not only from Jashy, but the three other crew members that are usually there, just you learn a lot. So, um, and I remember the first time I went spectating at a backyard ultra, I was a bit nervous turning up. I was like, I don't really know anyone, but you just get there and you encourage people. And I had people at so Clayton and I went up to Sydney's to spectate, and we were just yelling out to random people. And we had people come up to us after they'd finished and go, "Oh, thanks, guys. I did another 2 laps just because you guys were like yelling out to me." It's like that's all right, man. Like, yeah, you just enjoy seeing people do so well. So yeah, get out there, spectate, volunteer, and crew. Yeah,
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Um, well, thanks so much for coming on, Simon. You've had an awesome year. I just thought I need to get on the Roach. I need to get the Roach on. Um, yeah, and like you're so popular. Like everyone loves you and loves running with you and loves just hanging out with you at these races. And I'm looking forward to catching up. And I'm still standing.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And who knows? We might meet up in a couple of weeks down at in Geelong.
Yeah, that would be good too. Yeah, awesome. Gee, my
But
lighting, look how dark it is on my picture now.
um, yeah, man. Like, thanks. Like, I'm absolutely blown away by the kind words and stuff, and the backyard community is it's pretty important to me, and I love it. And I guess you get out of stuff what you put in, and um, like I haven't met a person at a backyard that I wouldn't want to run a lap with. Like. Um, yeah, they're a special breed, the backyard ultra runners. So,
Yeah,
so
100%.
yeah, if I haven't met you and I run into you at a backyard, come over and say hello, and yeah, let's have a chat.
Love it. All right, Simon, don't go anywhere. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks again.
Thanks, Pato.